Hello to my Aries. All right, Aries, let's get into it. You know, Aries, we're going to have a new moon in your sign. On the same day as the solar eclipse on March the 29th. Yes. All right. So, right now the moon is in Scorpio. You and Scorpio actually share the Tower card, Mars. So, yep, you and Scorpio share the Tower card. That's Mars, right? You're ruled by Mars, the Tower card. So, you are ruled first house. So, first house is house of personality, temperament, appearance, self image, first impressions, self awareness, outlook on life. And the moon being in Scorpio right now, waning gibbous moon in Scorpio. Scorpio rules eighth house, and eighth house is a karmic number, right? So, to say, emotionally, you want to part ways with anything that keeps you in an emotional cycle that's unhealthy or wounded, right? You want to release that, release it, release it, release it. Let's get into it. So, even if you hear readings that just sound like it's redundant, like if you listen to readings, just whether it's mine or other people, you really want to learn how to slow down, especially if you want to talk about living a softer life. You really want to slow down so that you can close out cycles properly as we're coming up on this new moon in your sign, and you want to learn how to close out cycles properly. I've already prayed over your cards. This is a general reading. Take only what resonates with you. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can go to QueenAmunRa.com. It's a general reading. So let's set the tone for your reading. Let's go. I will not wait for today to be a good day. I will make it a good day. I will make it a good day. And that's speaking things into existence, right? Let's go. Talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart. Wherever Aries is in your birth chart. All right. All right, all right, all right. All right. Okay. All right, here we have the star card. So this speaks to the 11th house. So 11th house is all about friendships, community, goals, hopes, wishes, like future, right? Technology, awareness. And you're talking about your future, right? And so you're thinking about like your future moving forward, kind of sort of being an innovator and thinking about your future and just saying, just your life moving forward, like your future. And so kind of being at a crossroad, moving forward, like what does your future look like, feeling at your future, and just talking about like tossing some things into a burning bowl, like what does your future look like. And so somebody may have succumbed to passive or powerless behavior, and or maybe been egotistical, materialistic, and forceful. And now you're saying, you know what, I'm tossing some things into a burning bowl and I'm moving on, right? That's the Eight of Cups here, right? You may have been in a poisonous environment in the past and just say, you know what, I need to toss some things into a burning bowl and I'm moving on, right? And learning how to be a little bit more conservative with my time, and I'm moving on, right? So you got big money trying to come in, and so you trying to, somebody got, learning how to, here's the Ace of Pentacles here. You got big money trying to come in. Here we have the Four of Wands here. And I feel like somebody may have new and exuberant love coming in here. Something is going to feel like a homecoming for you, like in terms of like maybe like somebody could be getting married, or like some couples, coming together or whatever. Somebody, like I said, some couples could be coming over or something like that. So somebody is just like moving on. Like, in other words, you're making room for a new beginning, right? Here we have the Page of Swords here. And whatever anxiety you may have been having about something in the past, it's going to be coming to an end. Something is going to be coming to an end. You're moving on from something. Here we have the Page of Swords here. Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely moving on. Yeah. And cutting ties. Yep, cutting ties. You're balancing some things out. You're definitely cutting ties. So this is Libra's card here. So Libra's card, Libra actually is it rules seventh house, right? So it rules. It's ruled by Venus rules Libra, right? Venus is the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics, but Libra rules seventh house as marriage, relationships, partnerships, business, contracts, inner desires, enemies. And Source is saying to you, you're cutting ties. You're cutting ties with something. Two situations you're cutting ties with to balance something out, right? To just balance some things out and you're moving on. Right? Yep. You're cutting ties with something so that you can move on. So that you can continue to move on. Right? These two cards right here. You're cutting ties with something so that you can move on. These two cards are ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics. So that you can move on. Because something could be costing you a lot of money. Something could be costing you a lot of money. And it could be costing you a lot of money. So it causes you like a real law, like a dip in a lot of money for you. Something could be costing you a big dip in money for you. So here we have 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Something could be costing you a loss and a lot of money. So here we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So something could be costing you a lot of money. And so you want to get money back, and so something could be costing you a lot of money. So you want to save money. So you want to save money. So you're going to cut your, so somebody's like something you want to cut your losses. So something you're going to be cutting your losses. Yep. So you got enough information, so you're going to be cutting your losses with something. Yeah, you're going to be cutting your losses with something. Yeah. Yep. So you have a lot of opportunities coming across your path. And so this right here, you're leaving something behind. See this wand up against this wall? You're going to be leaving something behind. Back in the saddle again, but you're going to be leaving something behind and moving on. Yeah. Yep, you're in receiving mode. You're leaving something behind. Whatever anxiety you may have been having, emotionally, you're going to feel like you hit the jackpot. Yep, you're moving on. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah. So that's how you're going to make it a good day. That's how you're going to make it a good day. So you're no longer, not that you were ever obsessing over anything, but judgment card is that you're rising above any kind of judgment whatsoever. You're moving on. Like I said, this is Venus. Venus is the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, and aesthetics. And you're moving on from something. You're tossing something into, you're making an altar. You're in a very vulnerable space right now. So somebody may have an altar in their house. Somebody could have an altar in their house, right? This color right here, this color purple right here, connects us with the crown chakra. So somebody could be adjusting their crown. Where's the other cards here? You could be adjusting your crown at this point. Let me get the Moonology card here. You got enough information at this point. Got enough information at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, somebody feels like they are somebody feels like they are you have a lot of wishes being fulfilled. You feel like you you feel like you are a humanitarian. You may have been a little bit too much in your head at one point, right? Um, so you may want to be able to. You may be learning how to detach from a situation. Um, you maybe learning how to release, because this right here, the judgment card connects us with death, right? So you may be detaching from a situation. So the judgment card connects us with Pluto by way of the death card. So you may be ending something, like moving on, finally moving on from something, right? Because 9 of Cups may be finally ending, moving on from something, right? um um And then we have here, like, when the ego is this change, right? So when the ego finally sees the utter madness of trying to control everything, you come to a sacred crossroads in your own evolution. So, of course, I heard somebody, a leader online, says ego was like edging God out. Like, obviously we can't edge God out, but I mean, unless you don't believe in source, but the creator. But I definitely feel like somebody is moving on. I feel like somebody is finally moving on from something. But um, you're learning how to move on. You're finally learning how to move on from something. So you're learning how to move on from something, right? So learning how to move on. All right, what else we got? What else we got in this? What else we got? So learning how to move on from something. Finally learning how to move on. Right? Learning how to move on. Learning how to make an altar. Moving on. Somebody may have thought that somebody was depressed. I don't know. I don't know if somebody thought you was depressed, or you thought somebody was depressed about something. I don't know. But anyway, who knows? So the King of Swords came out in reverse. I don't know if somebody thought somebody was being bribed or abused or playing some kind of dirty politics or weak, or who knows. I don't know. This card came out. But maybe you thought somebody was judging you. Maybe you felt like somebody was judging you, or where is this? Where is it? Okay. Two of Wands came out twice here. This is an interesting reading. Yeah. Okay, this is reversed. Some kind of an apology after a loss, recovery after a loss, physical healing, moving on, some kind of forgiveness of something or some kind. 3 of Swords here. Death came out twice. Oh, what the Judgment card. So Death of Judgment. Well, the Judgment card connects us to death, obviously. Judgment card connects us to death. Nine of Swords, some kind of a nightmare, grief, trauma, hopelessness, depression. What in the world? And then the Eight of Cups in reverse. Avoidance, fear of change, fear of loss, aimless, stuck in limbo. Lord have mercy. What in the world is going on? So who is having some nightmares? Who is depressed? Who is depressed? So it looks like some energies found in North Node. So like in terms of like finding so North Node is really just kind of like finding purpose, inner calling in life. Just finding inner calling in life. That's everybody's North Node. So being called from within. That's everybody. Everybody has an inner calling. So Source calls everybody. Source calls everybody. So a creator. A creator calls everyone from within. Ten of Swords, complete and painful ending, rock bottom, failure, collapse, defeat. Reverse, disappointment, unrealistic, romantic hopes, abuse, moodiness. Knight of Cups. So it looks like there was a so it looks like some people were, it was a lot of people talking about some people behind their backs. Like some people were talking about like people talking about some people behind. It could have been like some people that were, okay, this is what a lot of people have in common. Like, okay, it looks like you have the same thing a lot of people have in common, like jealous exes talking about people behind their backs. Okay, let me slow this down for a second. What a lot of people have in common, Aries, is possible family members and, or let me just say loved ones. Loved ones could be ex love interests, family members, whomever, talking about people behind their backs and who may have felt like you know, talked about or judged people behind their backs, you know, and just, you know, and just like you know, like may have just talked about people behind their backs and just like, wow, like you just never knew that people, you know, said something about people behind their backs. Just like, wow, you just never knew, right? Here we have Four Wands, homecoming, weddings, celebrations, family, community. And you just like kind of sort of never knew that people said things about people behind their backs, which is just kind of sort of sad that people said these things about people behind their backs. So two energies. Hold on. Where's the where's this? What's the So I see soulmate coming across somebody's path here. Child, what in the world? did that card come out? So somebody no longer feels confident. Like somebody is just kind of sort of like, you know, at first somebody felt like something was a win-win, but now somebody kind of sort of like retreating. Um, this is a very strange reading. This is a very, very strange reading. Because when I look at the cards here, this almost feels like I'm talking about. Really, it almost feels like I'm talking about two different Aries readings. It almost feels like I'm talking about two different Aries readings. It's like when I look at like two scales here, like I feel like I'm talking about two different Aries readings here. Hold on for a second. So let's make this make sense. Okay. So death to judgment, right? So I feel like I'm talking about two different Aries and how loved ones, because I'm seeing water here, and I'm seeing a lot of reversed energies. Looking at the cards here, it doesn't really matter what the gender is, but when I see death in the cards, obviously death could be like in a physical sense, but it can be like a death of a cycle, of a friendship, death of a job, death of a when I say cycle, death, the end of something. Let me just take it, just put it that way, death of something, end of something. Remember, you all are a cardinal sign. So cardinal signs would be you, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer, right? So I think I got everything. Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. We got 4 cardinal signs. So it's like how you view things versus how other people view things when the cycle ends. Okay, so make sure we're on the same sheet of music here. What I'm looking at here in the cards is how you view things when things end versus how other people view things when things end, right? What's most important is how you view things when cycles end, right? So source is saying to you, setting the tone is, I will not wait for today to be good. I will make today a good thing, right? Main thing is knowing that you are worthy and that you're good enough regardless. Regardless. That when something ends, you rise above the judgment regardless. Remember, we're in human form, so when things end, we're in human form, it hurts. That's period. That's we're in human form, right? But source is trying to help somebody to learn that um, to not stay in a karmic cycle. The Scorpio is rules 8th house. 8th house is about renewal, sexuality, death, transformation, shared finances, inheritance, loans, occult, mystery, intimacy. Is to not stay in that loop, that infinite loop of a karmic cycle. Stay in that unresolved emotions of something where it just keeps going around and around. Even staying connected to energies where it just keeps going around. Keep, being motivated by staying stuck in that, staying connected to people who keep talking about the same thing over and 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 over again, where it causes ego, edging God out. And this is the right here, altar, making an altar. The 16th card in tarot is the Tower card, which is Mars, right? And the 8th card is the 8th like I said, the eighth, not the eighth card, but the um, eighth planet would be Scorpio, which is, you and Scorpio actually share Tower card, Mars. So somebody could be connected to, you could be your eighth house, excuse me, eighth house, not the eighth, well, eighth house. Find out what your eighth house is, your sign is, your eighth house. And so Source is saying to you, so that part of you, you want to work on that. Find out where that cycle is within you. Find out what your eighth house is in your birth chart. So, because I feel like I'm talking about that part of you, that karmic area, that we'll find out what your eighth house is, a sign in your eighth house. So that part, you want to deal with that part of yourself. So you can get in year 9. You can purge that. You can purge that. Because what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday. You can flush all of that out, because Thursday, we have a by Saturday the 22nd, I want to say 22nd, Saturday the 22nd, we have last quarter moon. We're closing out a cycle. That's the last quarter moon. We're closing out a cycle. We start a new moon in your sign on the 29th of March, right? So Source is saying you want to be a new you. You don't want to be in a whole new you. Staying in. So I mean, it's up to somebody else. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you to find your north node. It's up to you to find your north node. So again, I'm talking to you wherever Aries is in your birth chart, not just your sun sign. It's up to you. Not just your sun sign. So So no pressure when you want more. Don't push yourself or others to get more. Give more of your pure, genuine self. Life will immediately match it. Don't give up. It's okay that things don't always feel easy and effortless. Some of the best moments in life will happen during and after hard times. You're one of a kind. From the moment you emerge into this world, you've had extraordinary talents. You understand starlight, animal voices, the spirit of love. Here we have starlight. I just saw that somewhere. Yeah. Soul awakening. You're quite irresistible. So you're on the right track. How did this? Okay, yeah. This is a different deck. And so everything is here. Embrace the spiritual belief that everything already exists in the here and now. Live in the present moment and be grateful for what you have. And so life is a gift. Life is a gift. And recognize that life is a gift. Yeah, recognize that life is a gift. Yeah, recognize that life is a gift. It's time to set higher goals. And so Source is saying, seeking you will find. Seeking you will find. You know, we're saying loyalty here. Be loyal to your friends. Somebody may have a dog. We're seeing partnerships. You have star power. Step into the spotlight. I'm seeing limitations here. Mind power I'm looking at here. Investments. Reckless behavior can lead to bad consequences. I don't know who's doing some reckless behavior. Transformation. Somebody is... this is about duality. Duality here. Something about duality for somebody. Seeing the light and dark side of things. New beginning. That's death, rebirth. New beginning. The source definitely wants somebody to learn how to look at karmic cycles within. Look at the karmic cycles within. Or is somebody allowing you to pull? Is somebody allowing you to pull yourself into their karmic cycle? So that's what source wants you to do. That's what I have for you. Hopefully, this has been helpful. Hopefully, this has been helpful for you. All right, that's what I have for you. Hopefully, this has been helpful. All right, bye.